It's been 12 years since the last Ace Combat release, and Skies Unknown feels like nothing has changed. And I don't mean that dismissively. Everything that makes these games such a personal joy to play, like the sheer number of planes to fly and an overwrought and melodramatic story, has been updated and enhanced for the PlayStation 4, creating what is easily the most unique and best-looking game in the franchise. The setting is Strandriel, the Earth-like alternate universe that celebrates a near-religious adulation for fighter jets, is home to hyper-advanced technology, and experiences war constantly. And guess what? War has broken out again between the Ocean and Ursia nations, with the latter introducing new, high-concept unmanned drones to the battlefield with destructive results. As the silent protagonist, call sign Trigger, you'll fight for the Ocean government until a bad twist of fate has you running dangerous and suicidal missions as the newest member of a prison squadron.
Arriving shortly at destination. Trigger, it's a breath of fresh air having you out.
Skies Unknown is an Ace Combat game in every sense of the word. You'll be sent out on self-contained missions at the behest of your government and jailers to do war against the enemy. This typically means engaging targets on land, sea, and air while squad commanders bark orders and taunt the enemy. Throughout the game's 20 missions, you'll perform strikes against enemy fuel depots, knock out radar stations while hiding underneath cloud cover, escort VIPs across enemy lines, and navigate through radar fields to attack fortified bases. You'll be accompanied by other pilots, but by and large you're pretty much doing all of the heavy lifting, which can often be empowering, especially when other pilots start putting you on a pedestal. Other times it feels like a burden because the AI pilots aren't nearly as effective and aggressive in combat. Completing missions earns you points to be spent in a new aircraft tree, a kind of progression-based system of unlocking new airplanes. It's not quite a skill tree, but it works the same way, as new fighters become available as you work your way through the catalog. Skies Unknown introduces a new modding mechanic that lets you outfit planes with a collection of special parts that can boost damage to guns and missiles, shorten the time it takes to lock onto a target, and improve maneuverability. Like the planes themselves, spending the credits to unlock low and middle tier mods opens the door to better and more expensive kit. I like these games a whole lot, but I think it's fair to say that they don't have a lot of gameplay depth. Practically every encounter involves waiting to hear the high-pitched tone of a missile lock before popping off a rocket, and then moving to the next target to do it all again. But like the other games before it, Skies Unknown is still thrilling because of the sense of urgency that hangs over each mission like a shroud. Every encounter feels like a battle between life and death for a world seemingly hanging in the balance, and only one pilot and their advanced warfighter can save the day. Really, it's hard not to get wrapped up in the moment. I also like Skies Unknown's approach to missions. After Trigger is jailed for perceived crimes, you'll be involved with the arduous task of playing decoy and softening base defenses so that the proper attack squadrons can have an easy time mopping up. Basically, this is Suicide Squad meets Top Gun. These missions are often more involved and a little harder than I'm used to, but proves to be a refreshing change of pace given how unglamorous they can get. A harsh and uncaring squadron commander that threatens solitary confinement every 2 seconds, and the frequent references to "you're only here to pay for your crimes" monologuing had me pining for the warm, encouraging commander that heaped praises on me for every little thing I accomplished. Even though the gameplay isn't different from past releases, Ace Combat endures because of its wondrous spectacle, and Skies Unknown is no different. This is the best the franchise has ever looked. Taking advantage of the PlayStation 4 hardware and the Unreal Engine gives Ace Combat 7 a beauty that no other game in the series can match, and those PlayStation 2 games look pretty good. The show here is absolutely dazzling thanks to cool weather effects, finely detailed cockpits, explosions, and a host of neat little details like wingtip vortices. Weather also affects the game's audio, muffling voiceovers and soundtrack each time you fly inside a cloud bank or sandstorm. The weather effects aren't just for show, they also have gameplay ramifications. Flying through clouds reduces visibility and makes locking onto targets harder. Conversely, it's a great way to break lock on you, while high winds can push your plane around, making it harder to control. Once the mission is over, there's plenty to drool over, from the cinematic replay of the mission that gives you control over multiple camera and tracking angles. When the campaign ends, multiplayer awaits. Online play offers a team deathmatch mode and a battle royal, which is built as a contest to see who among the participants can reach 100,000 points first, rather than, Fortnite with airplanes. The planes and mods you've unlocked in the campaign can be brought over to multiplayer, and on the flip side, credits earned from online play can be used in single-player mode. Exclusive to the PlayStation 4 version is a series of awesome VR missions set during the Ocean-Ursia War from the point of view of Mobius 1, the player protagonist from Ace Combat 4. That was a real nice touch, Project Aces. The VR missions are great because you have full and total control of the aircraft like you do in the regular game, only this time, PSVR owners can enjoy the roller coaster thrill of head tracking while sitting inside a claustrophobic cockpit. With that in mind, those prone or sensitive to motion sickness might want to sit out this as intense as you want it to be VR thrill ride. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown is a fantastic return to form that benefits from modern console hardware, making for a more dynamic air combat experience. The story, told from different perspectives on both sides of the war, have a tendency to be too serious and overwrought to the point of hilarity, but I always give it a pass because it's just so endearing. The Prison Squadron missions are a nice change of thematic pace for the franchise, but I wish my AI teammates could do a better job of keeping up with the action. I've been playing the game on normal, and too often have I felt overwhelmed by the number of enemies gunning for me as I struggle to play to the objective. In the end, though, the biggest criticism of Ace Combat 7 is also a virtue. Nothing much has changed in 12 years, but the foundation it's built on is solid, invigorating, and totally pretty on the eyes. DarkStation gives Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
Our radar shows no sign of bandits.